All right, good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. So, we're going to talk about proportions. Proportions are not geometry, they're actually lower level math, but it's been a while since some of you have seen a proportion. And so, I thought it would be a good idea for us to review exactly how to solve them so that there's no confusion and everybody knows what's. Now, for this, I do recommend that you have a calculator handy. Because, well, if you don't, it's going to make this a little more difficult. So I know some of y'all are doing this at home, so you're not going to be able to use this type of calculator. And there is one problem that we're going to do that you're going to need this type of calculator for. But you'll be asked to do this stuff in class, and you'll know how to do it then. So I'm not going to use this calculator except to do some of my multiplication if I need to, some of my division if I need to. And then I'm going to use it on the very last problem because I need it. Actually, the last two problems. In any case, I'm going to show you how to solve these. So in the proportions, I have three different difficulties here. These are the easy ones, even though some of the numbers might be kind of difficult for some. What you always do on proportion, I mean, there's different ways to go about it. You could always reduce a fraction before you use it. Like I could reduce this down to 1/7, but you know, sometimes they don't reduce and it's just easier to cross multiply. And so what you're going to do is you're going to multiply these two things together and these two things together. And so I'm going to have 6 times x equals 42 times 2. Well, 6 times x is just 6x, and 42 times 2, well, that's 84. And then I would divide both sides by 6. Do that. Divide it by 6, and this side will be x, and this side will be 14. So x is going to be 14 in that case. Over here on this one, same situation. I'm going to multiply these two things, and I'm going to multiply these two things. All right, so I've got 9 times 25. That's going to equal 15 times x. Well, 9 times 25, let's see, that should be 225, and that's going to equal 15x. And if I divide both sides by 15, it's 15. 225 divided by 15 is 15. And so in that case, x is 15. Coming over here to this one, I would again cross multiply. Multiply those two things, multiply those two things. 42 times 6, we're going to have here. And 21 times x over here. Well, 42 times 6 is 252. I hope, if I did that right in my head. I think I did. And 21 times x is going to be 21x. And then 252 divided by 21 is 12. And yes, I just cheated and used my calculator, but I don't care. It works. So I'm going to divide that by 21. And that's how I got that answer. All right. So next, we have some that require a couple of steps, but I'm still going to solve them the same way. I've got this and this. So it's going to be 4 times x plus 2. That's going to equal 12 times 5. On this one, I need to distribute 4 times x and 4 times 2. So it's going to be 4x plus 8 equals 60. The next thing I would do is subtract 8 on both sides, which is going to make this 4x equals 52. And then divide both sides by 4, and x is going to be 13. That's what we end up with. Sorry, it's a little hard to read, and I realize it's running right off the paper there, right off the screen. There we go. You see that? All right, so this next one, again, cross multiply that and that. We're going to have 9 times x plus 4, and that's going to equal 12 times 12. 9 times x is 9x, 9 times 4 is 36, and 12 times 12 is 144. I'd subtract 36 on both sides, so 9x would be the only thing left on this side. And subtract 36 from this, and I'd have 108. Then I have to divide both sides by 9. X is going to equal 12 on that one. Okay, and then we have this one. Ooh, I'm going to need a calculator. 54 times x plus 1 and 45 times 36. Oh yes, I want a calculator. 45 times 36, oops, 36 equals 54 times x plus 1. Well, 45 times 36, let's see. It was clear. I'm so out of it today. Out of that. Second quit. Clear, clear, clear. Okay. 45 times 36 is 1620. And I know this is going to be 54x and 54. Next, I would subtract 54 on both sides. Minus 54. So this side will be, I don't know, minus 54. It will be 1566. And this side will just be 54x. Then I divide both sides by 54. And that side will be x, and that side will be 29. Pretty good. All right. Now for the tougher ones. Now this first one is not really one of the tougher ones. I'm sorry. This one isn't so bad. It's just going to have an x on both sides, and some people freak out by that, but it's not really a big deal. So with that, we're going to have 15 times x plus 2. That's going to equal 9 times x plus 6. Well, 15 times x is going to be 15x. 15 times 2 is going to be 30. 9 times x is going to be 9x. And 9 times 6 is going to be 54. I would then subtract 30 from both sides. So 15x would equal 9x plus 24. Then I would subtract 9x on both sides. And so it would be 6x equals 24. And then you divide both sides by 6. And x would be 4 in that case. All right, then we have one like this. So when you cross multiply, so when you do this, you're still going to cross multiply. But I caution you, this one is not so bad. I'm going to tell you right now, it's really not bad at all. We actually don't have to use the calculator on this one. However, I'm going to use it so that I can get you used to seeing how to use it. If you ever have two x's on the same side that are going to be multiplied together like that, I hope you will use the calculator to solve it. We will have that this year at some point. It happens in circles, it happens in area, it happens a lot. And I don't have time to teach everybody the quadratic formula again. Okay, so this is what I want you to do if this happens. Okay, I want you to take your calculator. I'm going to show you how to solve it with the calculator. If you go to y equals, you need to type what's on the left-hand side in the calculator under y1. So in this case, it's open parentheses 4, close parentheses, open parentheses 1, close parentheses. I know what that equals, and a lot of you do too. But I'm just showing you, you don't have to do any of the work. The calculator will do it for you. Just do this to find the answer. When you are going to end up having x squared like this, just let the calculator do the work for you. That's the left-hand side of the equal sign. The right-hand side of the equal sign needs to go in one of the other y's. It doesn't matter which one. I usually just do y2. Open parentheses, x, close parentheses, open parentheses, x, close parentheses. You type in exactly what you wrote down. Now, we're going to go to the table, second graph, and you are looking for when these two columns are the same thing. And it happens right here. And bam, 4 and 4. The answer is 2. The thing is, there's actually two answers. In this case, there's 2 and there's -2. But we are only concerned in geometry 90% of the time with the positive answer, because usually this 2 or this number is going to represent the length of something, and a length can't be negative, so it's going to have to be 2. So in this case, x is going to equal 2, and that's it. We're not worried about the -2 because very, very rarely would that ever happen in geometry. Okay, so over here on this next one, this is another one that's just like that. You're going to cross multiply 30 times 45 and 6x times 6. Wait, 6x times x, excuse me. And again, you're going to have 6x squared over here. I don't want that. So I'm going to type in the calculator. Let's go clear it out. Go to y equals, oops. Go to y equals, and I'm going to have open parentheses, 30, close parentheses, open parentheses, 45, close parentheses. And then I'm going to go down, and I'm going to type open parentheses, 6x, close parentheses, open parentheses, x, close parentheses. Once this is what's on the left side, this is what's on the right side. That's what goes into y1, that's what goes into y2. You go to the table, and you're looking when those things are the same. This is always 1350. So basically, we're going to go down until we get to 1350. It may take a minute or not. There it is, 1350, 1350. The answer is 15. Okay, so when you have one of these that is going to give you an x squared, I don't expect you to, you should remember the quadratic formula from algebra. You probably don't. So just do it this way. It's okay. So that's solving proportions, guys. I hope that works for you. Video wasn't too long today, I'm glad to say. We're going to get into some other stuff that involves proportions soon, and I got to make sure you know what you're doing. So good luck to you, and we'll see you soon.